March 2nd, 2016, you woke up in the early morning and you had abdominal pain, sort of shooting pains in your tummy. You called an ambulance. It was seen as sort of not an emergency, so you were waiting for about 4 hours, and it was your granddad, I think, that eventually drove you into the hospital. So what did they say it was? What did you find out?
So I went in. I said, I think my appendix is about to burst. They did the blood test and confirmed
sure
it was.
It was.
Yeah.
So then you were taken off to another hospital where they were going to do the surgery that evening.
Yes.
So now you're being prepped for surgery and the nurse comes in.
Yep.
Paperwork to fill out?
There was paperwork to fill out, yeah.
OK. And what sort of... They're meant to take your weight and your...
Height, weight, and they didn't do that properly. So...
How did you know that they weren't doing that properly?
I didn't at the time. I didn't get actually asked for my weight. I didn't stand on any scales. They didn't measure my height or anything. So
it was just a guess. She just sort of looked at you and guessed and wrote it down. OK, so then you get taken into surgery and everything's fine. And what happens then? Because this is the nightmarish bit.
So I was laughing and joking about it beforehand. I've had operations in the past, no worries whatsoever.
Okay.
I had the injection, had the mask on, went to sleep. I came round feeling like I had something stuck in my throat.
Right.
I tried to swallow it and I couldn't. I tried to spit it out and I couldn't. So at that point, obviously, everything's sort of rushing through your head.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to see my family again, my other half.
You thought you were going to die?
I did.
Did you know where you were? Were you conscious of where you were?
At that moment, no. I was that groggy. The only thing I could concentrate on was there was something stuck in my throat. My eyes were shut. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I tried to hold my breath so I'd pass out a little bit quicker. After some time, that obviously didn't happen. And I realised that whatever was in my throat was breathing for me. So at that point, I calmed down a little, to the point where I could hear beeping, I could hear talking. And at that point, that's when I panicked that I'm either in surgery or about to be under surgery.
Wow.
I could feel some, it felt like pressure, where they were about.
No pain?
No pain at that moment in time, but the thing that sort of crossed through my mind is, what if this starts to
hurt? Yeah.
So obviously I wanted to try and get their attention somehow. I was trying to wiggle my fingers, open my eyes.
You're paralysed. I mean, obviously you're under.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
So in the end, I was literally trying to flex every muscle, literally willing any part of me to move at all. And in the end, I felt my bladder, so I wet myself.
Which is a genius thing to do, actually, to give some sort of signal that you're aware of what's going on.
It was the only thing I could think of doing was...
To do that?
Yeah.
Did you hear a response from the team?
I heard them say, he's urinating, he's urinating. I felt another needle go into my arm, a cold drift up my arm, and that was it.
And then you were out?
Yeah.
And so when you came round...
I came round, I said, I was in recovery. I said to the nurse, I remember that, I was awake. She goes, no, it was a dream. Mm-hmm. They couldn't explain why I had a catheter in or why I was missing boxes. So
do you assume that after you'd urinated on the table that they'd cut the boxes off and got rid of those?
I was handed them back in a bag with no explanation.
Okay. Oh, right. Wow.
Which was...
Then one of the doctors said to you, at what point did he say that you may have come round, don't Google this?
It was the next morning. I had an anaesthesiologist come in. She said, so you think you remember something about it? I explained what had happened to her. She goes, oh, it sounds like you might have had a bit of awareness, and started filling out a green form. Asked for a copy of that form. They went, oh, I can't give you this, you'll have to go to the office. I was given no further explanation of where the office was, what to do, how to find out any more info.
And then you have to go off and live the rest of your life. But the problem was you kept having flashbacks.
Yes, I was waking up at night screaming for quite some time. I had some EMDR therapy, which was absolutely fantastic. It really did help out.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you, as people do, you know, something else crops up and you've got to go and have another operation. It's your wisdom teeth.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I went for the consult for my wisdom teeth. It was the September of that year. I'd just started EMDR and I had a breakdown in the operating... not in the operating room, in the consultation room, so they said they were going to put me under.
This has been... It took 12 weeks, because you decided, actually, I'm going to get a solicitor involved here. I think there's been some negligence. I'm going to pursue this. Yep. It took 12 weeks, I think, to get a meeting together with the hospital. And it's taken 2 years to... And this has now been resolved out of court, but it's taken 2 years. Do you think it would have been better for you if they'd essentially come clean straight away?
Definitely, yes. I mean, honestly, I think if they had said, yeah, we did you wrong, we held our hands up and said that happened, then honestly, I think it would have been a lot better. It was the fact that I was left thinking that I was the one that had gone mad, that it had been a dream, that for weeks and weeks and weeks I didn't know what was going on.
They, I'll read the full statement in a moment, but this is the Calderdale and Huddersfield NHS Foundation Trust. They've added a little bit to their statement a few moments ago. Mr. Settle did not wake up on the operating table mid-surgery.
Yeah. So we've heard that, I've had a response from them that it could have been while they were moving me. They've not actually been able to explain why I felt the pressure, why I could feel somebody pushing around down there.
Yeah.
It's something that they've thrown about quite a bit since this entire thing started. You weren't actually on the operating table at the time.
We are generally sorry, say the Calderdale and Huddersfield NHS Foundation Trust, that Mr. Settle's experience was not to the standard which we would deliver to our patients. Whilst Mr. Settle was fully anaesthetised during his procedure, we have completed a full investigation into the circumstances around his sedation and anaesthetic prior to his surgery starting, and shared findings and learning with our teams. With the settlement now agreed, I would again take the opportunity to apologise to Mr. Settle. Thank you.
Thank you
very
both.
much indeed.
Thank you very much.